So this is what the first episode of I don't know what you call it, podcast, YouTube, shoot the shit, where we just talk about random things and upcoming trips, plans, and stuff like that. You guys met Andrew before in the previous vlogs. So
thank you guys for having us on board. Thank you guys for tuning in and stuff like that. Super exciting news that we got coming up. We have a vlog that's going to be coming out, getting released on the 30th. So keep an eye out for that. And one of our very first giveaways for the channel is going to be happening. Thank you to Toro Eyewear. That was a long one to get out.
But yeah, so I got an opportunity to shoot some stuff and work very closely with the guys over at Toro, and they're great people, make quality sunglasses. I love them, I wear them. But pretty much talked to them, and to celebrate the milestone of 500 subscribers on YouTube, we're giving away some Valley Toro eyewear. I gave you a pair to wear.
I love them. Super durable, especially with me, because I could throw these in my saddlebag and have nothing to worry about. We did a torture test with these. If you guys haven't seen that, check that video out. They're great for me personally, just because I tend to abuse my sunglasses if I don't lose them. So very durable, very strong plastic, and even the lenses, they're really, really strong stuff. So I love them. They also have night riding glasses, which if you tuned into our San Diego vlog, Cody was wearing those that night. So
they're pretty much like yellow tinted shades, and they're great for at night, because especially with me, I hate riding with the visor down. So it's better that I keep my glasses on. I still feel the wind smacking my face and drying on my lips.
Yeah, it's great. It also takes away the glare, especially from oncoming headlights and stuff like that. But it's also because most of us ride with tinted lenses, and not everybody runs a two visor. Not all the helmets have a two visor setup, or you have a clear one up front and a tint in the back. So it is nice. These do fit on a variety of heads. I'm on a little bit of the smaller side, and they still fit my head. Those of you with larger domes, they got you covered on that aspect too.
Yeah, so for me, having a bigger head, they actually make one that's called the one that I'm rocking. The next vlog I showed it, but it's they're called the Ranger. They have the regular Ranger and the Ranger XL.
Yeah.
And for me, I wear about like a 7/5/8 hats, and dude, fits me perfectly. So with that being said, so to celebrate the 500 subscriber milestone,
thanks to you guys. Thank you for making that happen.
A little ASMR. But it's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna
be picking the winner on January 30th, the same day that our next vlog comes out. Okay, so you guys, if you guys want to win a chance or have a chance to win these, subscribe to the channel. That way we'll get notified of all the subscribers and this and that. We're going to be picking a name on that day. The winner is going to be announced on the release of the following vlog, which will be February 13th.
So right before Valentine's Day, so that way you piss off your girl, you can.
Yeah, there's a little makeup gift right there. So you have until next Friday, which is January 30th, and then we'll be announcing the winner at the very next vlog on the 13th.
Yeah, so all you got to do is follow Always Writing Places on YouTube, Instagram, and make sure to give Toro Eyewear a follow. And once we pick the winner, we'll announce it via Instagram and or YouTube as well. And we'll pretty much let you pick whichever pair you want. We might get you 2 pairs, but as of right now, 1 pair guarantee. So yeah, we'll be giving them out. So make sure you follow Toro Eyewear, Always Writing Places, and on YouTube, Instagram, and get you a pair. So, with that being said, I'm excited for that. But, some news. Let me take a sip. So, Harley Davidson just announced 2 days ago that they're doing new bikes this year. So, we're on the Harley Davidson website right now. So, let's see. I'm going to screen record this. Hold on. Where is it?
While he's looking into that, guys, just wanted to take a minute into, let all those in Southern California, especially those that are dealing with the wildfires, our prayers go out to you guys. If you guys aren't local to California, SoCal's been dealing with a lot of fires. The Palisades fire, the Eaton fire, and now the Hughes fire. They're really getting out of control. A lot of people are out of their homes and stuff like that, evacuated. We actually had to evacuate here from the Hughes fire. So thoughts and prayers going out to all those folks affected. Thank you to the first responders that are going out there. And, we'll try to, we just want to let the first responders know that they are appreciated, everything that they do, especially those hours that those guys are out there working the fires and stuff like that. So, big shout out to the first responders and, prayers with you guys, those are affected.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the stats right now, dude. It's pretty insane. So, Palisades fire, it's about 81% contained. So, you can see it right here. So, the Palisades fire currently, I'll put it up on the screen somewhere over here. But Palisades fire is 81% contained, and it's 23,000 acres. That's insane, dude. It's very unfortunate it happens. I personally think the higher ups in the county and the city should have done better, and the state, but we'll leave that out of it. And then you got the Eaton fire. That was where Pasadena, right? That's Pasadena, Altadena area?
Altadena. It's going to be an Altadena fire. It affected both areas, but mostly Altadena. And I actually had a bunch of buddies of ours that were assigned to that fire. And, one of them got stuck out there for like 21, 22 hours. So it's anytime these fires go up, it's just, especially when they're all happening at the same time. Now you have resources that are getting spread thin and stuff like that. So it's just...
Yeah, so that one is at 14,021 acres with 95% contained. And then we have the Hughes fire, which is about a couple minutes down from where I live. And literally, if you ride up the street, literally like 2 miles, that's where they started evacuating. So if it got any further, we would have been the next one. And thank God we didn't have to, and we're all good now. But it is currently...
That one went up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That one really just came up out of nowhere. That one spread out.
So right now it's sitting at 10,425 acres at 87% containment, which was good because the next vlog I kind of gave a breakdown of what happened. But since we're putting this video out first... TBR hit me up, wanted to shoot some photos for something for them. So I called my buddy Josh. He's West Side photographer on Instagram. I'll put the link somewhere or his tag so people can follow him. But he came up here. I had an appointment. So I got into my appointment at around 10:45. Dude, it started at 10:53. So I probably went in at like 10:50. 3 minutes later, the fire started. Yeah. So I'm like, well, that's not good at all. With that being said, got out of the appointment, driving home, and I'm like, dude, just seeing cloud of smoke. And Josh got to my house. We're filming, we're shooting the photos real quick, and then we end up getting stuck by the jail down to 5.
Correct.
And a lot of people know, some don't, but my family has a business out there, and end up having to help my mom evacuate.
Correct.
In the Ralph shopping center, and yeah, pretty much kind of.
Yeah, a lot of the sheriff's department was activated as a result of that as well, because as he mentioned too, and as he alluded to, we actually have Pitches Detention Center along the 5, and that houses North County Correctional Facility, South, North, and East, and because of how quickly that fire started going, there's a lot of open ground in that area. There's a lot of just brush that is around the area. So as soon as that catches on fire, it's been dried out for a while. It went very quick. They ended up having to evacuate some of PDC to get that out of the way. So now you have families that are trying to get out of there. You have businesses that are trying to get out of there. And then you have, on top of that, then you have Pitches Detention Center also trying to get out of there.
So
it was just a
mess.
A mess.
But
altogether,
at least right now we're looking, it's 87%, so that looks good.
Yeah.
And then we have the Border 2. I guess there's a Border 1, but there's a Border 2 fire that's sitting at 6,625 acres and with a 10% containment. So I don't know much about that fire, so I'm not going to speak on that. But we also have our backyard, Ventura, which is the Laguna fire now. And that's sitting at 83 acres, and it's at 98% containment. So we're good there. But regardless, so that's kind of what's life's been throwing at us since the beginning of the year for people that live in LA. And
yeah, 2025 started out hot. No pun intended. It started out hot. We're still, once again, if you guys aren't local to us, Palmdale is like anywhere at like 30 degrees. Santa Clarita's been at like 50 degrees, and we're still having these fires, which is insane. So, hanging in there. Prayers go out to all those that are affected and stuff.
And dude, not a lot of people mention this enough, but shout out to all those inmates that went out there, fought the fire, and contributing to society. That is freaking awesome.
Yeah, the fire crews and the they're actually housed at East facility, and they were out there helping out the firefighters because they were so stretched thin. Shout out to all the out-of-state fire crews that helped out, and that one guy who flew a drone into, what was it, the Canadian plane?
Yeah, it was a Canadian fire plane.
Figure out your shit, dude. Seriously.
Yeah, like I don't, like why would
sometimes California, obviously California has a habit of shooting themselves in the foot, but this is like seriously. Go get your pilot's license or something, dude. Like, figure it out.
But yeah, dude, I guess I got the FBI involved, so now it's gonna be interesting what's gonna happen. But
yeah,
moving on. So back to 2025 Harley Davidsons, dude. I don't think you've seen much of it.
No, I haven't yet.
So we're on the Harley Davidson website.
Okay, well, first off, for those of you that don't know, what are you currently riding?
So I ride a 2022 Lowrider S that I bought at Mulholland Harley.
Shout out to Mahone.
Yeah, at the time. But, no, they're good people over there. Yeah, and I converted to a ST style thanks to Advent Black. They did pretty much everything on the bike.
Yeah.
And other parts. And, I have parts from Centauro, Advent Black, TBR.
JP suspension.
GP.
GP suspension.
Yeah, so GP hooked up. With
Coffee hasn't kicked in, sorry.
But yeah, GP hooked us up with some stuff too, so super grateful for that. And, I don't know if I mentioned TBR, Miller Speed Co. for taking care of the maintenance on the bike, and all that stuff. So who else am I missing?
I think that's
The
it.
bike's right here.
You have risers. You have the
Advent Black stuff, Saddleman. I got that from Josh from 2 Lane Live. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, but for the most part, it is a 2022 Lowrider S. And as people know, it's a pretty boring looking bike, and something I'm not really proud of when I first bought it. But as building it on, and right now I'm sitting at about 50,700 and some change miles.
And that was only in, what, a year and a half?
No, I bought the bike in July of 2022, so we're at,
Okay, so
as of today,
almost 3 years.
almost 3 years. And mind you, I work from home, so I don't know. I don't leave
There's
the
no
house.
commuting. There's no nothing. That's just
like-
hobby. You know.
Yeah, like
that's hobby riding. That's just a lot of miles without commuting at all. That's no commute miles. I currently have a 2009 Harley Davidson Street Glide, bags from Advan Black, and bars from Dominator, and that's pretty much it. That's all I have on my bike. So it's going to be exciting to see, especially coming from a twin cam, what the new 2025s have to offer. Let's take a look at this real quick.
So, right now, hold on. So we're pulling up the Harley Davidson website. All right, so explore the motorcycles, huh? Grand Touring, Cruiser, Trike. Let's check out new motorcycles. Let's go Sport. No, I don't really care about Sport. Let's go Cruiser. Start out with the Street Bob. Everybody loves Street Bobs. I don't want to do inventory. What the heck? So bikes, new motorcycles, cruisers, shop all cruisers. All right. Whoa. So let's start. So first of all, first noticeable change. What do you see?
I love the color, actually.
The color's nice. It's almost reminds me of, yeah, it's a Billard Gray. It's a 2024 or 23 color.
Yeah, but did Bob's come in that color last year?
No, I think
that's a new color for that model.
And apparently, so you got Billard Gray, Vivid Black, Centerline Yellow,
Okay.
Iron Horse Metallic, huh? That's
a pretty cool color.
And then you got purple. Whoa, that's new. Like a matte purple, and they called it Purple Abyss Denim.
All right.
And you get 2 wheel option. You have the laced, and you have the cast wheel, and obviously the chrome parts. But big noticeable difference that I see right off the bat is that exhaust. Yeah. So before it was a 2 separate piece, like a 2-piece exhaust. I don't know what you call it, but now
it's a 2. It was a traditional 2-into-2. Now it's 2-into-1.
Yep.
Harley Davidson, as you progress through these builds, you're going to notice that a lot of its performance-oriented changes from the 2024 to the 2025.
And this is one thing that I don't like about Harleys and what they did. Oh, hold on. They changed. Wow, they changed the gauge. It used to be the swear gauge, but now it's the Lowrider S gauge. So, dude, that is pretty nice. But regardless, the price is $17,199 MSRP or as low as $268 per month on a finance payment. So
that's not bad for like someone just starting out, getting into into riding.
That's pretty. It's pretty high in my opinion.
For brand new,
Yeah, that's pretty high. But
117
whoa,
right out of the bat.
Wow.
117 right out.
So they did a bigger 117 classic engine, which is the one that's on the 23, 22 Lowrider S. Okay, so they bumped it up from a 114 to a 117. Looks like that's the only option. They have, 2-in-1 exhaust, rear suspensions, camp style preload adjustment helps you keep the ride smooth no matter the load or what the road throws at you. Interesting. You have a new style intake, comes in black or chrome. Yeah.
There's a circular gauge that you were talking about, and I like that.
So it's a 4-inch display, new hand controls. So my biggest resemblance is the hand controls. The hand controls are off the 23 and 24 road glides and street glide because they're more like the rounded edges.
Right.
And now they have USB-C because USB normal sucks. Let's see, drivetrain. Whoa, hold on. I might be tripping. Hold on, go back. It said chain. Is it chain? No, it's belt. Okay, I saw chain. I thought it was chain driven. But performance, it's 120 pounds-foot of torque with 98 horsepower at 400 4,600 RPM
Okay.
with a 47 miles per gallon fuel thing. But yeah, that one's pretty nice. Fuel injected. All right, cool. Let's move on. Now we got the Lowrider S. Ooh, I like. Ooh, what's your?
That's a cool color. I like that color.
This brilliant red is really nice too.
Harley Davidson, you guys with your color naming?
Yeah. Oh, guess what? Guess what is normal price again? Oh, never mind. I'm tripping. I thought trim. Okay, trim stays black.
Okay.
First thing you notice is red accents around the intake and the derby, primary and derby cover, stuff like that. But you have Billard gray, vivid black, brilliant red, iron horse metallic. That color is,
that's a pretty cool color.
But it's nice because it goes with the red very well.
Yeah. And it still is abstract from the black, everything being murdered out.
This Mystic Shift. So it looks like it's a purple, but who knows? It could shift. And then that's a new style risers. Or a new clamp. Hopefully it doesn't change because a lot of companies are going to have to R&D for that. But it comes with a Milwaukee 8 high output engine. Supposed to designed to be optimized with high flowing exhaust and intake and supported by top shelf suspension and braking components. I think that is just the fancier words and for like a Generation 2 117.
Right, which, you know.
I could be wrong, by the way. I don't know shit about
but
motors.
It's looking like a lot of Harley Davidson's making a lot of adjustments that they're seeing after people who purchase their bikes, what they start doing with, you know. There's companies that work with Harley Davidson in producing aftermarket parts. One most notable is Screaming Eagle. So when people are constantly going to Screaming Eagle for these kind of tunes and these kind of, you know, the gauge as you explained, so many people, you have it on your bike. You know, it's just, it's one of those parts that Harley Davidson is just repeatedly seeing where people are putting aftermarket risers on their bikes. They're taking notice of it, and they're starting to throw these in stock. And all the attributes that came from the higher end bikes from previous years are now trickling down to these other bikes, which is great.
And I'm mad at the fact that every bike except my bike comes with standard cruise control.
Well, go into that. So what does Harley Davidson need you to do to go on your bike?
It's a stupid little module on your hand control. That's all I need. But I haven't checked in a very long time. But last time I checked, it was like 8 months back ordered. I'm like, all right, I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna throttle it for now.
Hopefully with some of these newer bikes, as we keep looking at this, you know, most of them, hopefully, does it come with cruise control?
Yes, it does. All of them are standard now.
All right. So now you're just gonna have to step up to a new bike, bud.
Yeah, right. So talk about the Lowrider ST. This is what I'm mostly excited about. Nope, exit out of there. So,
you got two trims.
To start, two trims, right? You got the chrome,
Okay.
which comes in Billard gray, which I think is beautiful with that blue emblem style, old school, classic Harley Davidson, I guess you call it wings.
Yeah.
You know, but even the blue on blue looks good. Blue and black looks amazing. But dude, something about the Billard gray just
it accents that blue very well.
Yeah, the chrome is like I don't know. I feel like it doesn't make sense. Like why? Like you know,
it's only the primary. Like I understand if you're going in the direction of like these old. If you look at, well, it's kind of behind me, but on the old street glides, everything was chrome. You had your exhaust, the actual engine case, everything. Your primary, everything on the engine is chrome. If you're going to make that a trim, that's fine. But don't just change out just the primary cover, you know, your cam cover, and then that's it. Everything else is still black.
Right.
You know, if you're going to do that, go all the way and have everything chrome. That's just my opinion.
So,
but with the black trim, what other, is there additional colors for the black?
black?
Oh, there is. Okay.
So black trim, you got Billard gray, vivid black, brilliant red, iron horse metallic, and I already checked it out. This is by far one of my favorite.
Okay.
I forgot what it's called, but it's fucking sick. It is. Midnight Firestorm.
Okay. Now that's
Dude.
very interesting. So going from the trim, if you want chrome, you get 2 less colors. Your tank, the Harley Davidson tank emblem is changed with the chrome cover. But if you want Brilliant Red or this Midnight Firestorm, it actually changes the livery that's on the bike itself.
Yeah, so Billard Gray, Vivid Black, Brilliant Red, and Iron Horse Metallic gets the old school Harley Davidson on the bottom in red, except the red one gets a black color like emblem, and the Midnight, it's like it just looks like a diamond Harley Davidson from the photos. But regardless, dude, that's
a cool livery. I like that.
I do like that a lot, and it accents the red very, very well.
Do you ever see Harley Davidson coming out with the option to go to bags instead of saddles if you were to buy a lowrider S? Do you think they would ever do that?
I don't think so, because these bags are designed for baggers.
Yeah.
You know. So
I think that would be cool if Harley Davidson, wishful thinking, Harley Davidson CEO, if you're watching this, maybe as an option.
All right, moving on. They got new colorway Road King Special, Street Glide, Road Glide. But what I want to talk about is the CVO Road Glide and the Road Glide ST. I do like the color a lot. I don't know if I like $46,000 a lot, but I like it a lot. But holy smokes. So there's CVO Road Glide ST, that one is the Blue Streak colorway.
Only comes in one livery.
Yeah, so let me screen share this and you guys will see it somewhere up there or on the whole screen. But it is $5,000
for the paint. That's the only option.
Yeah. Holy
So it's a $5,000 markup for paint that you can't change.
Yep.
Okay.
Still comes with the dual exhaust from what it looks like, right? Yep.
Yes.
Dual exhaust. Not a 2-in-1 as I would hope. Still a standard 121 VVT. Supposedly upgraded rear shocks, not air shocks.
It comes with pullback bars. It literally comes with pullback bars.
No, they're more like baby apes, I would call it.
I was like, oh, wow.
But yeah, so I like it. I love the colorway, and I like the blue or the purple from what it looks like, and the black accent. But I don't know if I like it. $45,999.
Of course, if they allowed you to take it without that additional mandatory $5,000, it would have been just $40,000. But maybe if you just get it unpainted, it'll be $40,000.
Well, but here's the thing: if you're spending $46,000 on a bike, right? Will you take the CVO Road Glide or the CVO ST? And here's the difference: CVO ST is the same price, $1,000 less, gives you more color options. And let me double check.
And the ST doesn't have carbon fiber. It doesn't have forged carbon.
No, the ST does. The regular one doesn't. The CVO doesn't, from not that I can see.
Got it.
But they come in Rally Red, Mercury Silver. Ooh, I like that silver.
I like that silver.
It looks like it has a new. What is that? The Fast Johnny Pig Flame on the.
The battery cover.
Yeah, battery cover.
Which is only on one side. That's kind of.
Yeah, but dude, for $46,000, right? You get forged carbon, you get different colorway, I believe you get mini floorboards from what they look like. You get chopped bags. And I got a chance to ride Cody Garbrands. If you guys don't know, he's a UFC fighter based out of Vegas. He's really good, dude, and the most humble guy. I have nothing bad to say, dude. Like, he is fucking rad. And he let me take a ride on his bike. Dude, that thing fucking rips.
I bet.
Like, he had a exhaust from Thailand. I forgot what it was, but I know he switched it to HPI now.
Okay.
If I forgot, I'm sorry, Cody. But, dude, that bike fucking rips. But, yeah, Rally Red, Mercury Silver, and then a hot lap. So it was a black with some swears. I don't know what you fucking call that design. Like, what would you call it?
It's not even plaid. It's two squares that overlap.
Yeah, but it's gray and black sitting on a black underpaint.
Right, and then you have the eagle on there. You have the screaming eagle on the front cowl or the front fairing.
Yeah, but they all have that.
Oh yeah, you do.
They all have that. But that one comes with a one. Whoa, did I read that correctly? Let's scroll down.
121.
Oh, it's a 121 high output engine, so you get a new motor, fully adjustable shocks now, front forks.
Okay.
Dual outboard shower, remote reservoir shocks. Go with GP, it's better.
Yeah.
Titanium mufflers. I don't think that's gonna give you performance or cloud, but mini floorboards, as I called it.
Yeah.
Innovation. Let's see. Ride enhancing technology helps get you the most out of your bike with new track and track plus modes, cornering, ABS, traction control, and a massive screen to easily manage it all.
That's the one thing I got to give to these new bikes. That touchscreen is
very nice.
That's nice. I mean, right. I still have the old little, some of the OGs will know when you have to pop out the little radio, the little face on the radio, and you take that in your pocket so nobody steals it. Right. I'm still running one of those, unfortunately.
But moving on, you got the 24 Road Glide. How much is 24 Road Glide? You get it for $25,999 versus 2025. I believe it's like $27,999, so $2,000 more. I'm curious if the 2025 comes with that high output though. You know what I mean? I don't know if it says it.
I don't see anything on there because it still says 117. I think.
Yeah,
it's still 117.
So you get a 117. Okay, so you get the 117. So I don't think Harley did much with this new Road Glide. 2025 Road Glide, it looks like for the most part it's the same.
Yeah.
I don't see anything new. You do get an option of black or chrome trim. I'd prefer the black trim, looks way better. And if I was going to get one, I would go with the Iron Horse Metallic.
That's such a cool color. I love that color.
Yeah, so.
Now, would you step up to a bagger like this?
Yes, absolutely. The problem is, you know what I miss? I miss having a bare bone basic fucking bike.
Okay.
Where I can just hop on, lane split, not have to worry about the width or how wide the bike is, and you can just whip the bike around, My friend Jenna let me buy her Sporty, off of her a while ago, last summer, and kind of change the topic real quick too. I blew the transmission on this thing at 39,000 miles. Took it to Lancaster Harley Davidson. They fixed it. Everything's great. But during that time, I didn't want to be bikeless. So I bought Jenna's Sporty off of her, and then I ended up giving back to her because after I got this bike back, I never touched the Sporty.
Yeah.
But I thought I was so cool riding that Sporty.
Yeah.
It was fun in the sense where I was hopping curbs, fucking.
It's a fun little bike to mess around with.
Yeah.
There's no, it's a bare minimum to get you out on the road kind of bike, which is, it's great, especially if you have the opportunity to have multiple bikes like that, it's great.
Yeah. But for people that don't know too, like I made the mistake of, I bought my first ever Harley. Let's go back to now moving on, right? So my first bike, you've been there through the whole journey. I started in college. I didn't tell nobody this story. God. So in college, I was going to LA Film School at the time, and you know how you get the grants for school? I think my grant was like $3,000 or something like that per semester. I fucking found a shop out in Simi Valley. Okay. That sold pit bikes. Okay. Like the SSR pit bikes.
I remember those. I don't see those that much anymore.
Yeah. So they had this thing called, I forgot what it was called, dude. But think of it as a knockoff Grom. Yep. Looks exactly like a Grom, but it's fucking Chinese made, Chinese carburetor. I did, first bike, I was popping wheelies at red light on accident. Yeah. Fucking, all that shit. But yeah, started off with the Grom or fake Grom, and then stopped riding that shit because it broke. I didn't know how to fix it at all. And then I went to a regular Grom,
Yep.
a real Grom, a real Honda Grom.
Yeah, I was just saying, we'll just make that transition real quick. That's
Yeah.
the second bike, a real Grom.
So I'll put a photo of that Grom somewhere over here, and I had it matching my Honda, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love the color of your old Honda.
Oh, this was before that color. You didn't know.
Oh, okay.
But I had that Grom and kind of grew out of it because I'm like, dude, I got way too fat and for this shit. And I remember going down a hill, I'm fucking full tuck. I looked down at the speedometer and then I was going 72 miles an hour, pinned, full tuck. But dude, that Grom was sick because I met a lot of cool people through that, and I got to ride. I didn't get to ride. I rode with like Honda Grom Lifestyle, those guys down in LA.
Yeah.
It was like every Friday.
Shout out to the Honda Grom culture. You guys really look out for each other, and it's such a great like culture once you like experience it. It's like you see all these different platforms that really group together as a result of whatever platform they're running. But seeing the Honda Grom guys, like, it just brings a smile to your face. Whatever you're doing, you're going to Taco Bell, you're doing a little food run, whatever you're doing, you're going to have fun. Yeah. You have a great group of guys to do it with, guys and gals.
And I do remember, like, damn, me having a bigger bike, I'd be so cool. Fucking now I'm like, I have a bigger bike. I'm like, fuck, I want a Grom.
Yeah, you still miss it,
Yeah.
Even when you graduate to, these bigger bikes, there's still a little bit of that, like you still want that little kid bike, you still want.
It's just fun. Think about it, dude. Imagine we're all grown adults with real jobs, and like every weekend just meet up, ride Groms. Like, shout out to Rob. His name is Wrench Ride Rob on Instagram, but he's one of my buddy, and dude, he stunts the Z125.
Yeah.
He has a Harley. His girlfriend or whatever works for Harley. So they have all the cool bikes in the world.
Yeah.
And he still rips around doing circle wheel. I'm like, fuck.
And it's such a cool platform for something that's so small, right? It's, Groms, for those of you who don't know, they're pretty small bikes. But there's so much you could do with it. There's people that engine swap those things with Panigale motors. They bag them and stretch them.
This was 2017, 2016, like 2015 maybe. But I remember people were throwing the CBR 300.
Yeah. I would love to. I'd love to engine swap that bike.
Yeah, like
just
that
have
was
a bike that small. You do have to kind of. You have to re-engineer the suspension a little bit when you're putting that big of a motor in it.
But dude, I remember watching people just ripping that. I'm like, holy fuck.
And they're only like this high off the ground when they're doing it. They're passing you and they're on this tiny little bike, but the motor is like
it's so
90% of the weight is just the motor.
And then, dude, so I sold the Grom to a guy out here that owned a muffler shop at the time. He really wanted it. And by that time, I already had the Grom slammed, stretch. And I remember, dude, funny story. So we put the suspension on it. I stretched it, lowered it in my buddy's garage, in Johnny's garage. And fucking, if you guys don't know Johnny, I don't bring him up much, but Johnny's one of my friend that, dude, I love this dude today because you tell him to fucking help you with something, he'll figure it out, right?
Yeah.
So, you know how you have to lift up the frame to be able to remove the shock?
Right.
Bro, we put the Grom under a ladder and fucking, what is it called? And pretty much,
You took all the stress out of it.
Yeah, but how we took the stress, we wrapped the tie downs.
Dude. Bro, this guy if you guys haven't met Johnny, he's got he's super smart, but his intuition on how to do things, the way he like problem solves,
is so
out there, but it works.
And it's the funniest shit. And like, dude, looking back, but yeah, so we stretched at his house. I took it down Bouquet Canyon, and Bouquet Canyon is pretty twisty fucking road.
It's tight. It's pretty tight.
Dude, I was overshooting every turn because I didn't realize you have to like you're not leaning and dipping the bike like you normally would. You kind of have to like do one of these to kind of turn. Yeah. Dude, I remember overshooting a fucking corner and I almost went into in front of a fucking Corvette. But that's like, all right, you know what? I'm done. Sold that bike, and then I got bored, right? A few months later, bought me a KTM 390. And I remember it was a 2016 KTM 390. Yeah, those bikes are popular in India. There's no fucking aftermarket parts here.
Yeah.
So I wasn't with you, but I was with my other friend Angelo, and we're riding back. We went to eat or something, and I took it to a garage shop that does work on Grom and custom Groms in Azusa. They're still around. I forgot what it is, but they pretty much fabricated an exhaust on for me, and I got the Akrapovic, I think. Akrapovic muffler, and then they custom weld me thing. And mind you, I'm riding back home. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I hear clink, 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 clink on the fucking freeway. Me and Angela was like, what the fuck was that? And then I felt my throttle like bog a little bit.
Right, okay.
Fucking muffler fell off. I was like, oh my God. So I was straight piping it for like 15 miles back home. I was like, dude, this is horrible. Took the bike back to them, bought a Yoshi exhaust. Right. They welded that on. Yoshimura sounded great on that bike. And so, yeah, fucking got too comfortable on it. So I was like, I'm bored. Got too comfortable. I'm like, whatever about it. Almost killed myself a few times. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hang it up. Yeah. So fast forward.
You weren't riding for a while.
No, yeah. So fast forward 2 years later, I already knew you. I already met you around 2017 through the car scene. And, I didn't buy. I traded. I was really into the car scene. I was really into the car scene, and I needed a daily. So I bought what was it? Like a Nissan SUV. What was those called? Not the
Nissan,
what was it? Now I'm curious.
Nissan Pathfinder? Is it a Pathfinder?
No. So Nissan SUV. It was like a 2002 though. I'll just put 2004. Ew, it was an Xterra.
Okay, I wouldn't have gotten that one.
Yeah, it was the big Xterra. So it might be like a 06, 07. It was the second generation Xterra. So I traded him that bike, and it was a Yamaha FZ6. My dream bike at the time was the FZ7 or the FZ9, which is like the naked bikes, and everyone looks cool as shit when they're riding
super naked, super torquey.
Those things
really
are
raw.
Yeah,
raw power. Funny enough, that bike almost made me not ever want to ride.
Really?
That's why it's like so important, especially for those of you that are getting into riding. Ride around a lot. See what you like. My dad, first experience I ever had was a motorcycle. My dad brought home a 2001 GXXR 750. Grew up like, man, I want a crotch rocket. I want, a super bike. I want a super bike. Ever since I was like 10 or 11 years old. Then the first chance I ever had of riding a motorcycle out in the street was actually that bike. Really? Almost got myself out of riding just because it just wasn't for me. So it was make sure that you do ride around because once again, it's a super naked. It's going to have it's a different riding ergonomics, different power band, super torquey. So those guys that like ride supermotos, like stunt riders, that bike's probably for you. For me, I just wanted speed, maneuverability, just straight, pretty much a race bike is what I wanted. But it was a great bike for what it was.
Yeah.
Super. It was like all the power band right there, all the torque right there at the bottom of the power band. But I remember that bike.
Yeah, so I had that FZ6, and then me, you, and Rodrigo was at the cigar lounge, and I threw the bike up on Facebook Marketplace to sell.
Yeah.
And some dude fucking hit me up and was like, hey, is this for sale, or were you willing to take he asked me for designer clothes. I'm like, no, I don't want
And if you've ever met Cody, like, there's nothing designer about
Yeah,
him.
like, I know.
He's not. Yeah,
Like,
it was the funniest, like, watching, like, I'm sitting there having a cigar, watching this whole conversation, and I'm like, I mean, shout out to the guy. He really wanted the bike. He was doing everything that he could. And what did you end up walking away with? Not even walking away with, mind you. This was.
Oh shit!
This is the weirdest like Facebook transaction I've ever seen.
It was 65-inch flat screen TV at $1,000 cash.
Mind you, 2 of us rode there. So this guy, we ended up having a buddy of ours,
Rodrigo.
Goot. We call him Goot. He was the only one with the car at the time. He rode to the shop. And so this guy shows up. He has a sure enough, rolls up, flat screen TV in the back of I think it was like a Nissan Altima or something like that. And we're both sitting there. He takes the bike. And now we're just stuck with a TV at like 9 o'clock at night with 1 car and 3 dudes.
Yep.
So we backpack in that. Goot drives the car. Cody hops in the front seat. I'm sitting in the back holding this TV that barely fits inside lengthwise in the car that Goot had, which I believe was like a Honda Accord, so it wasn't that big.
So we got it back to my house. But yeah, so I stopped. That was my last bike.
Yeah.
Right? So fast forward to May of 2022.
Yeah.
We stopped talking for a little bit or whatever. Life got in the way. Oh, shout out to coffee. Oh. But asshole over here decided, hey, let's meet up for coffee. So he came over with his bobber. I didn't even know you bought a bobber.
Yeah. That was my second bike.
Yeah, we'll get to the first bike in a second. But he came over with a bobber.
I didn't tell you about that bike. I just rolled up on it.
No, you just rolled up. And I was like, wait, when the fuck did you get a bike? And at that time, I already was running a company or brand called Goon Defense, just gun shit, goon shit. But yeah, dude, you rolled over that bike. I was like, fuck, I want it. My birthday was coming up, so I'm like, you know what? I want to treat myself.
Yeah.
So I got a 2020. No, I bought a 2017 Harley Davidson Sportster.
Yeah, I remember that.
I didn't know much about Sportster.
Yeah.
I thought 883, what is it called?
CCs.
Cubic inch. I thought that was a lot because coming from street bikes, fuck, a 600 will almost can kill you.
Yeah.
So at the 883, so I bought that thing. And at the time, I was working pretty far away. And dude, I remember just pinning that thing. And I felt like, okay, I'm on a Grom again.
Yeah, it's a bike that you definitely grow out of very quick.
Yeah,
going from super bikes to, these cruisers, Japanese bikes like Yamaha, for example, they have the V-Star 1100. You're like, wow, Hayabusas are like 1200, the R1s are 1100. Like, they're big, you think fast bikes, but when you get to a cruiser style bike, there's not much there. You run out of power very, very quick.
Yeah.
I had, like he mentioned or alluded to, I had a bobber. It was a 1100 V-Star. I think the fastest I ever got that bike was 90, downhill, pinned. And there was just nothing there. Like, I'm like, man, I'm going to get hit on the freeway. Like, I was like riding in the slow lane with 1100 cc. And then you started getting into the bigger bikes.
Yeah, so I had that bike. And then one day, my buddy Logan actually bought Two-Lane Josh from Two-Lane Live, bought his old lowrider from Mulholland Harley. And at that time, I think Josh traded it in for a Road King. So Logan ended up buying it. I was like, fuck, I want that bike, blah, blah, blah. And I went into Mulholland, or I went to Santa Clarita Harley. And at the time, the management absolutely sucked. So ended up going to Mulholland. I tried to go for a bagger. My mind said yes. My wallet said no.
That's life right there, though.
Right, but so they're able to get me on the Lowrider S, which was like, I was like, whatever about it. But during that time, it was the first year Lowrider ST came out.
Correct, yeah.
Dude, people were paying $35,000 or more for that thing.
Yeah.
the markup was insane. The hype was insane. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. But yeah, so I end up with this bike, and here we are today, right?
Yeah.
So that's a little background on how I got into bikes.
Yeah.
And then you,
I was completely opposite. I was 100% opposite. To cut to the chase, first bike, 2016 Yamaha R1. Ta-da! I'm still alive, so you could technically do it.
explain how we got that bike and how everything went down until now.
Oh boy. Okay, so I'm the kind of guy who I'll literally make Excel spreadsheets to make decisions, right? So I wanted a bike, and I knew I wanted a super bike. Like I mentioned before, my dad had a 2001 GX6R 750, and I had Wheels in Motion out in Chatsworth. Shout out to those guys. Those guys helped me out a lot. They looked out for me. I had narrowed it down to two bikes that were on their showroom floor. One was a used Yamaha R6, and then the other one was a 2016 R1 that was used but only had like 100 miles on it. So somebody pretty much bought it, got scared of it or bored of it, and sold it back. So they couldn't mark it as new because somebody had already rolled it off the floor. So we went to Johnny's house to go pick up the ramp.
And at that time, I borrowed Goot's truck.
Right. We were actually borrowing Goot's truck. He had no idea that... He knew that you were borrowing it. He had no idea that we took a little sidetrack for it.
Side missions.
It was like 10 minutes before they closed. We're still like 15 minutes out. And I called the shop and I'm like, hey, I'm sorry I'm running late. Do you guys mind staying open? We're supposed to be there in about 15 minutes. I'm a serious buyer. I'm literally running late because we had to pick up the ramps. I'm looking at these two bikes. And the guy's like, absolutely no problem. We'll stay open for you. We get there, and the gentleman shows me the R6. It's been dropped.
It was?
Yeah, it was dropped on the left side.
Did they fix it, though?
The exhaust still had some scrapes on it.
That's
but
right.
the fairings were good. They fixed the fairings, but the exhaust, you could tell it had a scrape on it. And so I looked at it, I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. I walk over to the R1, I sit on it, and it just felt right. Like, I was like, I look at him, he immediately looks at me, he's like, dude, you're gonna die. I look at him, he's like, you're gonna die. Look at the bike, 1 second passes, I look at the salesman, I said, I'll take it. That's how quick. Within literally 7 minutes of walking into Wheels in Motion, I verbally committed to this bike. Fast forward like a half hour later, done with paperwork, everything's ready to go. I'm actually looking into there. If you don't know, Wheels in Motion has it's one building, but two separate parts. You have the showroom floor, and then you have all their apparel, their helmets, their gear is in the other part of the building. I'm actually looking for a helmet. I wanted a Shoei X14. Unfortunately, they didn't have it.
Those were expensive, too.
At the time, they were about $900 they were almost $1,000. The guy's like, I'm like, hey, I just need a helmet that's DOT approved. I just want to be able to ride, be able to just get this thing on. Just jump on the bike and just learn. And so the guy's like, well, I recommend this. I ended up walking out with an AGV helmet. And the manager walks me over and he's like, hey, sir, do you mind stepping into my office? I'm like, sure. Cody and I walk in, and he does the typical Asian thing and was like, hey, can we get a free t-shirt? Can we get a free hat? Can we get free shirts? Which it ended up actually helping us.
Because I tried to get you free tires.
And they gave us free tires. So if you don't know, Wheels in Motion is actually a Yamaha, first and foremost, dealership. They do sell trade-ins like Harleys and Kawasaki's. They have Ducatis there as well. But first and foremost, they're a Yamaha dealership. If you buy a brand new Yamaha from them, they have wheels for free for life. Well, as long as you're not tracking it. If you track your bike, then they could tell by the tire wear that you track the bike, and the next set is not free. You have to buy it. But if you're just riding on the street, this and that, then anytime you need two new tires, you just come in. I believe they're partnered with Dunlop.
I think so.
Yeah, it's like Dunlop or something like that. So as a result of Cody, I'll give him that. He did give me free tires. The manager was like, hey, you know what? Here's the issue. We can't find the keys to the bike. Okay. He's like, I greatly apologize for this. This is not the way we do business, you know, and I'm very disappointed in the fact that you came here. And I felt bad for that sales associate, dude. I felt so bad for him. We could hear him from the showroom floor ripping into the salesman in the back.
That was pretty bad.
You know, he's like, I could hear him. This guy told you what 2 bikes he was looking at. He even told you that he brought a truck and he was running late because of a ramp, to get a ramp. Why were these 2 bikes not washed and the keys in them ready for him? That was another thing. The windshield on the R1, it had the sticker residue, so there was a sticker on it. I'm assuming maybe like it had a 360 camera or something, like a
GoPro mount.
Yeah, like a GoPro mount that was stuck on the front of it. So like the R1 wasn't even washed, but which wasn't a big deal. But to this guy, the reason why he was pissed off, they couldn't find the keys, and now they had to rekey this bike. And he's like, "Hey, listen, we're gonna ship the bike to you." And I'm like, "Are you sure? I live in Palmdale. You know, like I live a ways from here. That's like almost a 2-hour ride or a 2-hour drive." He's like, "Sir, I don't care. This is not the way we do business. You showed up ready to buy. You should be walking out of here with this bike." The manager, he's doing his best to keep his cool, but you could tell he was upset. We're almost done with the entire tracking and all this stuff to get the bike shipped. The same salesman comes in right when I'm about to sign the paperwork. We just did paperwork for like 15, 20 minutes to get the bike rekeyed and sent to me and have it shipped. "Hey, sir, we found the keys."
So we loaded that thing on.
Loaded that on. We bring it to Santa Clarita. We go to a furniture shop because the truck that we were using, Goots truck, is lifted.
Yes.
We've never unloaded a bike before. So we figured, okay, because the store in question, their loading dock is at a very steep angle. It's the steepest one that we could think of. It would help us with the leveling to bring the bike off. We still almost drop it.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Anyway, next, that was my experience with an R1. Then
dumped a bunch of money into it.
Dropped $4,000 on a full titanium exhaust from Graves, smog block off plate, had the bike retuned. Very next ride, get into an accident. Lady T-boned me off the bike on Valentine's Day. So on Singles Awareness Day, my favorite holiday, you know, get hit off the bike, face plant in the asphalt, concussion. This guy sent a picture of him of my fucked up helmet. He likes the post and just kept scrolling. Didn't even pay attention to anything. I'm in the hospital gown. You see my freaking hospital bracelet. He's like, "Oh, cool. Like the video." Just kept growing. He didn't reach out to me for like 3 hours until he realizes, like, wait, he's in a hospital gown. You know, so that was that story. Missed riding, but I wasn't really sure about going back to a super bike again. So I bought a bobber. Always wanted to build a bobber. Used 1100 V-Star, converted it to a hardtail bobber. And even that, I mean, you go from a bike that could pull 100 in first gear to a top speed of 89. There's a lot of gap there. So I wanted to get onto a bigger bike, and I ended up picking up this baby off Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, and dude,
great deal. Honestly,
you got a hell of a deal. Tell them how much you got.
$8,000. And it had less than 30,000 miles on it. Already had speakers cut in the bags. Upgraded speakers, upgraded amp. And
painted fairing, inner fairing.
Yeah, it actually had a painted inner fairing already. Colors of Red Hot Sun Glow. Had a tour pack already. That was also painted to match from Harley Davidson. Like it was a just clean bike. I loved it, and I've never looked back, to be honest with you, until 5 minutes ago when I saw that 2025 streak light. So we'll figure that out. We'll see how this year goes.
Yeah.
But that's my story, how I got into riding. Yes, you can buy.
All right, so we paused the video real quick. I just want to say shout out to Law Tigers for sponsoring this video. As you guys know, we combined throw about 20,000+ miles a year on a Harley Davidson. and checking out new places, riding the roads of America and what this great country has to offer. What is not fun though when you go down, because you went down, I went down, we've known someone who went down, or we have been down ourselves. Um, that's unfortunate and it's not fun. That's why we are beyond stoked to have Law Tigers aboard, and just knowing that if anything happens to us, we're good. Like, one phone call, they'll take care of you, make sure all your financials, insurance, stuff like that are sorted, and if you do get hit, God forbid you don't, you're gonna get compensated what you deserve, right? Because it wasn't your fault. So, and I will never be mad at anyone for going after the bag.
No, not at all. Just make sure you contact them before you contact your insurance, and they'll look out for you guys.
Yep. So with Law Tigers, you never ride alone. They're experienced and aggressive motorcycle accident lawyers in various states have helped thousands of injured riders secure millions of dollars. Law Tigers members represent clients throughout the country, and this is the beauty part. They do not charge any upfront fees and only require payment if they require compensation on your behalf. Fees are calculated as a percentage of the gross recovery, and that's amazing. And there's never a charge for a case review. So, which means you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So give them a call at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. They'll 24/7. They'll be ready and take good care of you.
Yeah. And these aren't just attorneys that just happen to study this. These are people that understand because they ride themselves. We ride with actually a couple of them, and it's great to have people that understand this and also deal with that aspect of it. So these aren't just people that are just out for that bag. They have a passion just like us to be out there on two wheels, and they understand what this is about. So reach out to them. You won't be riding by yourself.
All right.
Sorry for the interruption, guys. We got evacuated for like 5 minutes.
No, our camera overheated. But yeah, so you got that bike for one hell of a deal.
Yeah. No, and I've loved it ever since. Done quite a bit of stuff to it. Still have a lot of things planned for this bike. But it's getting there. And I love riding this bike. I love it. Absolutely love it. But seeing some of those brand new Road Glides, love it. I actually really liked last year's the 50th anniversary with the black and the orange. Oh, I love that bike. But once again, 40 grand is a lot.
It's a little steep.
That's up there, But I don't know. This girl's been running good, and I had no complaints, no issues, and everything's going well with it. So
yeah, I mean, dude, people just need to take care of their stuff.
Well, not only take care, but I mean, there's that phrase: the more you're tinkering, the less you're riding. Get out there, ride your bikes, guys. I mean, right now it was 30 today, it rained, and we're still out riding. So it's one of those things. Enjoy the bikes. If you want a tinkering bike, cool, but have another bike, go and ride it. Because sometimes like you tinker on them
And what's funny is a lot of people always make fun of me when I'm like, because to be honest with you, there are days where I'm like, dude, I don't even want to look at the bike, or I'd rather drive to be more comfortable with this and that. But for the most part, like, I try to ride as much as I can. Obviously, working from home doesn't make it that easy, and stuff like that. But regardless, you got a hell of a deal on that bike, and now you're gonna help, or not help, but you're doing videos with me, and I'm super stoked for that. And we do have a lot of videos, trips, and stuff like that planned this year.
Yeah.
I know maybe next weekend we'll hit up Miller Speed Co., get you some new tires, maybe do an oil change on my bike.
Yeah.
We'll do a vlog on that for the following week or the week after. But
yeah, we got a lot of trips planned out,
the goal of this channel is more just to make content. And when I started the channel, it's like, you know what, I'm already shooting a bunch of photos, shooting a bunch of videos, and it was just a way to dump footage that don't ever see the light of day.
Yeah.
And now it's turned into something that I'm stoked on, you're stoked on, and something that I can experience with my friends, that makes sense. And
Yeah, and that's what a lot of writing is too. It brings people together and making experience and go through life together and stuff like that. It's growing up we had the car scene, and then now we're doing motorcycles and stuff like that together and stuff like that. So it's great seeing the community come together. We mentioned like the Grom culture. They all help each other out. They're all there together. It's just another community that we like to share and we like to show. For those that are riding right now. To share those experiences with other people that don't have that opportunity, or things that we find in our riding experiences that could help others.
Yeah.
And that's just something that we enjoy sharing with you guys, and you guys make it possible. So thank you guys again for subscribing and things like that. That's why we're able to do giveaways like that as a thank you back to you guys. And we have a lot of exciting things planned, for trips and projects and things like that. So
yeah, and maybe we're actually going to try to do an actual podcast or a YouTube live where we can have guests. I'm still trying to figure out the logistic on how to do that and what equipment we need and stuff like that. Obviously, those things aren't cheap, and most of the time, every single equipment you see, from the lights to the cameras to everything you see came out of my pocket. Sitting on the side right there, there's a camera bag that's fucking maybe 10 grand worth of camera gear that came out of my pocket. And
that's putting it lightly.
Yeah,
that's probably the bottom end estimation of it.
Yeah, that's not including lights and stuff like that. But you do it for the love of the game, and I don't. It'll be cool. That's why I always tell people like, hey, if you want to support us, then to be able to continue to produce these videos or symbols. That's like, dude, we offer merch, and I created some designs. You helped out with some, and this is one of the classic T-shirts that I made, and. People think like, oh, you make these in China that are, less than $10 each. Show them. Yeah, it's always riding places, everywhere USA. So, but yeah, to be fully transparent, like our cost on these are literally like $25 because we're not a clothing brand. We make profits maybe $2 to $3 off of one T-shirt and maybe $4 off a hat. So it's not a lot, No,
it's more. We're passionate about what we do, and we also want to make sure that. Yeah, it's nice to be able to do these things for you guys and stuff like that, but we also don't want to be just putting out cheap T-shirts and things like that. Like, we take passion in what we do and what products we create. Even the socks, like they weren't like the cheapest Walmart socks that we can get. They were good quality socks, and the shirts that you picked, very nice and soft, but they don't shrink. The writing, it doesn't start peeling away from the shirt. It's great quality stuff. So we would rather sacrifice profit over cheap product, because at the end of the day, that shows you guys who we are as people. And for us, like we said, we enjoy doing this stuff. We enjoy writing. We enjoy videography and photography and stuff like that. We want to bring you along on that ride.
Yeah, and I think the more we do these type of video, or this live shoot the shit type of video, I'll be able to share more of like the photography and the gear wise, and talk about those things later down the line, and the equipment I use, because I'm a big nerd when it comes to gear, camera gear. Like I just want to dig in. I'm like, wow, look at this thing, look at this, look at that. So I watch a lot of those videos. So maybe there's people out there that would like to see it too, or learn.
If you guys got any ideas or things that you're curious about, comment down below.
Yeah.
We would love to hear back from you guys. Hey, what are some topics that you would like, or hey, what do you recommend when it comes to this? We could do a Q&A in the future. Like, hey, what kind of helmets do you guys recommend, or what kind of camera gear are you using for this kind of shot or this and that? And you know, if you guys got any other ideas that you guys would like us, any other topics you'd like us to cover, you know.
Yeah, like, and I've never been the type of person to gatekeep. Like, if someone asks me how to film or what setting or how do you do this and that behind the camera, like, dude, I'll be the first one to share. Like, you know, and that I learned a lot from people around me. You know, like Josh at Tulane. Like, I remember hitting him up, like, hey, dude, like, let me take you out to dinner, or let me take you out to lunch. No homo, but let me take you out to lunch and let me pick your brain. Like, that's all I want. Like, I'll pay for your food. Let me just pick your brain, and you know, that's how you learn, and that's how you grow as a person, as a individual, and as a professional who does what they do. And I firmly believe in that. You know, and so with that being said, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. If you sat through this long video, we greatly appreciate it, and hopefully you get a little insight on kind of getting to know us, who's behind the channel and stuff like that. We're gonna try to do these type of video maybe once a month. You know, sometime maybe next video we'll have a guest, one of our friends. Who knows? You know, but it's something that we look forward to. We love doing this just to shoot the shit with our friends.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You know, life ain't hard. Don't make it hard.
Yeah.
So with that being said, see you guys in the next one, and don't forget. Giveaway. Shades. You can block out the haters. Dude, this thing is dark. Jesus. Oh, this is their C4 lenses, so they're supposed to be the darkest lens you can get. The winner, whoever wins, I would recommend getting the C4. If you are riding a lot, working outside, hate the sun, whatever it may be, these are the ones to get. But with that being said, make sure you like the video, subscribe to Always Riding Places on YouTube and Instagram, and follow Toro Eyewear on Instagram, and we'll pick the winner in the next video. With that being said, as well, peace.
Take care, guys.